Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will turn the pages of A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones, 1996, the first book in George R.R. Martin's epic A Song of Ice and Fire series, weaves a tale of political intrigue, familial betrayal, and a battle for power in the Seven Kingdoms of Westeros. Against a backdrop of long summers and cruel winters, noble families vie for the Iron Throne as dark, supernatural forces gather in the north. Plot summary: the Kingdom of Westeros, a land of sharp contrasts and sprawling grandeur, stood on the precipice of change as the lingering warmth of a 9-year summer began to fade. In the north, where honor was the shield of the strong and the code of the Starks, Lord Eddard Stark ruled Winterfell with his family. The Stark children, Robb, Sansa, Arya, Bran, and Rickon, grew under the shadow of their father's unyielding morality, while Jon Snow, Eddard's illegitimate son, sought his place in a world that scorned bastards. A foreboding begins in the icy wastelands beyond the Wall, where the ancient Order of the Knights watch guards against forgotten terrors. Whispers of the White Walkers, beings of frost and death, find form when Rangers encounter them, their lives ending in shadowed violence. In Winterfell, the discovery of a dead direwolf with 6 pups, a sigil of House Stark, seems a strange omen. The pups are claimed by the Stark children, each unknowingly bonding with a beast as wild and fierce as the lives that await them. Southward, the king rides. Robert Baratheon, an old friend and comrade to Eddard, seeks him out to name him Hand of the King, the realm's second most powerful position. Robert's reign grows precarious as his queen, Cersei Lannister, and her brothers, Golden Jaime and clever Tyrion, maneuver for power. Catelyn Stark, Eddard's wife, is reluctant to let him go but agrees out of duty. The Stark household splits as Eddard and his daughters, Sansa and Arya, travel to the capital, King's Landing, while Bran, left behind, suffers a fall that leaves him comatose. None suspect the fall was no accident, but a consequence of Bran witnessing a dangerous secret between Jaime and Cersei. In King's Landing, Eddard navigates a court rife with deceit. King Robert's reign teeters as debt mounts and whispers of rebellion spread. Sansa dreams of courtly romance and betrothal to Robert's son, Prince Joffrey, but Arya, ever the rebel, bristles against the constraints of noble life. Eddard uncovers a web of lies surrounding the royal lineage, discovering that Cersei's children are not Robert's but products of her union with Jaime. Beyond the Narrow Sea, Daenerys Targaryen, the last scion of a deposed dynasty, is sold in marriage to Khal Drogo, a fierce Dothraki warlord, by her brother Viserys, who craves the Iron Throne. Daenerys, timid and abused, grows into her strength among the Horse Lords, forming a bond with Drogo and claiming her heritage as a Targaryen. She receives dragon eggs as a wedding gift, relics of her family's lost legacy, which begin to awaken with her growing fire. The political unrest in Westeros takes a darker turn as tensions escalate between the Starks and Lannisters. A confrontation between Tyrion Lannister and Catelyn Stark leads to Tyrion's capture, fanning the flames of animosity. Jaime, in retaliation, attacks Eddard, leaving him wounded. King Robert's sudden death propels the realm into chaos. Joffrey, backed by Cersei, seizes the throne, defying Robert's last wishes. Eddard, attempting to reveal the truth about Joffrey's parentage, is betrayed and imprisoned. Despite a desperate attempt to save him, Sansa becomes a pawn in Cersei's schemes, while Arya flees into the city's underbelly. In the north, Bran awakens from his fall, forever changed and bound to a destiny tied to the ancient forces of his land. Jon Snow, serving at the Wall, confronts the harsh realities of the Night's Watch and the encroaching threat of the White Walkers. As winter stirs, the bond between the Wall and the realms below grows tenuous. Jon must decide between loyalty to his family and his sworn duty to the Watch. Daenerys, in the east, faces devastating loss when Drogo falls gravely ill after a ritual gone wrong. Desperate to save him, she sacrifices much, but Drogo remains a shadow of himself. Her brother Viserys is killed for his hubris, leaving Daenerys as the last Targaryen. She steps into the fire with her dragon eggs, emerging unburnt with 3 living dragons, a symbol of rebirth and the return of ancient power. The machinations of Westeros come to a head with Eddard's execution under Joffrey's orders, a brutal act that shatters the Stark family. Robb Stark, now Lord of Winterfell, is declared king in the north by his bannermen, igniting a rebellion against the Iron Throne. Catelyn grieves but steels herself for the battles to come, knowing the war is far from over. As summer fades into the long shadow of winter, the threads of power, loyalty, and survival tighten around each character. The White Walkers stir in the north, Daenerys' dragons take flight in the east, and the realm splinters under the weight of its rivalries. In a world where the Game of Thrones is played, one truth resounds: when you play, you win or you die. Want more from a Song of Ice and Fire series? Look for the other books by George R.R. Martin in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in George R.R. Martin's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.